I have a question to all of my adults who are late diagnosed with either ADHD, autism. Again, I'm newly diagnosed with autism. I have Asperger's. You know, what I'm learning as a late diagnosed individual with autism is that you have to grieve the old you, the old version of you, if that makes sense. And it's like you have to relive your childhood, or you have to revisit it and pick it apart, dissect it, and connect all the dots related to your autistic traits and make sense of everything. That's what it's been for me. But I want to ask those of you especially who are autistic, when you found out you were autistic, you're, late diagnosed, something just freaked me out about my childhood. When I was a little girl, I remember my pediatrician. She was a tiny Asian woman. Her name was Dr. Aberry. I believe she was, her office was out in Hamilton, New Jersey. And my memories of Dr. Aberry, she was sweet, very quiet, tiny, petite Asian woman, but very nice. I remember when my mother would take me and my siblings to get our immunization shots. And my reaction alone, before they even would give me the shot, it was my reaction to finding out. Not even finding out, like when we went to go see Dr. Aberry, it was just a frightening experience for me as a child. Being in her office, knowing I would have to get my booster or immunization shots, it sent me spiraling. Okay. I don't remember the ages when your children are supposed to get immunization shots. I know, I want to say 5, 6 years old, even 10. But I do remember being under the age of 10 in her office. And the ideal that I was about to get a shot, an injection, sent me fucking spiraling. Let me tell you something. I would scream, punch, kick. When I say scream, everybody in the whole entire building could hear my mouth screaming like somebody was, drawing blood, but taking something and shanking me, screaming like I was running from Jason or Michael Myers, like the whole building heard me screaming, screeching. And one of my core memories as a child going to get my immunization shots at Dr. Barry's office was Dr. Barry, my mother. I don't remember. I think my dad might have came to a couple of the visits. I don't remember my dad being there. He could have been. But I also remember they had to go get total strangers. I remember them having to get 2 adults. Or I do remember there was this very big man, this very tall man, big guy. It might have been him and my dad or him and another person. It took a couple of adults to pin me down. I'm a small child now, y'all. Little girl. Took a couple of adults to pin me down so that I could get my shot. I mean, it was the most terrifying, frightening experience. And I could see my mother was embarrassed because I'm the oldest out of my brother and sister. I'm the eldest. And you would think, it's expected of me to handle the shot like a big girl compared to my siblings. They're younger than me. No, it was a horrifying experience. Now, listen, children cry. Okay, it is not uncommon to take your child to the pediatrician. I have a child, my daughter's grown now, but all the times I took her to the pediatrician and she had to get a shot, but she was very good about the shot. She cried a little bit. It was done, boo-boo, over. Nothing like me. When it came to me getting my shot as a little girl, I did not act like the average child getting a shot. My shit was on another level. Dr. Aberry, my pediatrician, hated to see me coming because me going to her office meant one thing. We're going to have to call a couple of adults to come pin this little girl down to get her shot. She's not going to let us take the shot. Grown man. I remember this white man. They had to go get this white man, big old man. I remember him being a large build, big guy, having to pin me down to give me a shot. So this is where I'm going with this, y'all. The reason why I behaved the way that I did when it came to getting that shot is my autism. I've been doing so much since I've learned, recently that I've been diagnosed clinically with autism. It has put me in this space of, oh my God. Now I understand why I behaved this way and that way, and why I did this in my childhood, and why I did that, and why everything is connecting, okay? But it's fucking me up. Like, it's a whole nother grieving process. It's a whole nother, I need therapy just off of learning about my newly diagnosed autism, because so much is making sense now. Why I did and behaved and said and did certain things. I could not tolerate, when I did my research on children with autism having sensory issues, one of that being, how autistic children respond to getting injections. Their level of pain intensifies. It's different than that of a child who does not have autism. Autistic children experience pain differently because we don't, of being touched, the sensation of touching our skin, things touching us. And then that very said thing that touches us is causing us pain. And then that pain is magnified. It's a horrible experience for an autistic child. I'm just fucking blown away. I am blown away. The stuff that I keep discovering and learning about myself. But it also puts me in this space of sadness, y'all. I'm just going through it. I'm going through it. I was not the average child getting a shot. All children cry. Children are scared to get their shots. Like I said, I have a child. I've been there through everything with her. She was, she did all her shots really well. But looking back at my childhood, there was nothing ordinary about me when it came to me getting my immunizations. I tore that doctor's office up. I tore my pediatrician's office up. She hated to see me coming because it meant we have to call in other nurses, other people from the waiting room to come and pin me down to get my shot, because I'm fighting, I'm screaming, I'm kicking, and I have to be restrained by adults. It's my autism. Y'all let me know what you think, because it can't just be me. I know I'm not sitting here tripping. I'm just connecting the dots, y'all. I hope this video helps somebody. If you have not been tested for autism and you suspect that you have, if you know your family, your mother and father have said things in your childhood to allude that you may have a learning disability or anything, but they didn't get you evaluated, go. Save up your money. Go get tested. Okay? Because if your parents were narcissistic like mine, they're very prideful. They want to have, the perfect appearance of a family. They don't want nobody thinking there's something wrong with their children. So they'll let their children suffer instead of getting their children evaluated because they don't want their child labeled. What ends up happening, you go through life suffering any goddamn way, all the symptoms and shit. So much shit. Lots of bullying. People bully disabled children. People bully autistic children. You will go through a lot because your parents failed you. Go get tested for ADHD or autism. Start being self-aware. Handle your business. Your parents failed you, but you don't have to fail yourself.